Hello, dear classmates and tutor. This is me, Pedro Julian Amaya, and for this time, I'm going to talk a little bit about Step 5, the final exam in this course research project. So, I'm going to start talking about the research framework. The impact of the information society in the educational world is emerging in the information society driven by a vertiginous scientific advance in a framework socioeconomic globalization, and sustained by the widespread use of powerful and versatile information and communication technologies (ICT). Intel changes the reach of areas of human activity, its effects and manifest in a very special way in labor activities and in the world educational, where everything should be reviewed from educational institutions to the basic training that people need how to teach and learn, infrastructure, and the means we use for this, the organizational structure of the centers and their culture. The purpose of the present study is to determine how the use of ICT in English learning of English languages is the students of 6th and 7th grade high school at Agustiniano School from Bucaramanga, Santander. So you know that ICTs as a didactic use would facilitate the process of teaching and learning the language, and for teachers, it is a methodological innovation offered by ICTs to achieve a more effective education and inclusive. The research background. The present investigation determined by means of interviews a high level of motivation of the teacher of the English area by trying to improve the language teaching learning process by doing use of ICTs and at the same time a high level of the motivation towards study English in most of the students interviewed in the 6th and 7th grade from a high school section at Agustiniano School. It is located in Bucaramanga, Santander. The purpose of this study is to investigate the potentials of ICT tools as motivational factors in languages classes as implemented at Agustiniano School in Bucaramanga. So students from 6th and 7th grades have to 5 attend hours English language meetings per week, and one of the meetings is conducted at Multimedia Language Lab. So students are exposed to the use of ICT tools both in the normal class settings as well as in the English Media Lab. So however, the Multimedia Language Lab is better equipped with ICT tools compared to the normal class. Most language activities conducted in the class or given an assessment to students involve the use of ICT tools. The general problem is how does the use of ICT influence education, learning English and languages in the students of 6th and 7th grades at Agustiniano High School? There are some research objectives. To implement digital tools that strengthen English languages communication skills in students. To recognize the importance of digital tools in the acquisition of a foreign language. To establish strategies that will have impact on the teaching and learning of English languages. To make proper of ICT taking into account the preference and likes of students who are interested in learning a new language. To promote and develop a didactic and method of learning English through virtual interaction activities using web tools and thus strengthen the knowledge and communication skill in the students. Propose for the educational problem. The integrations of information and communication technology (ICT) in modern life has caused a transformation in fields such as education. In my particular case as a teacher, it is considered important to embrace new virtual tools to support teaching. The lack of appropriate ICT in classroom activities and the importance of adopting different teaching strategies highlight the need to increase interest in practicing foreign languages. Hence, The objective of this study is to employ virtual learning tools in order to foster motivation in English as a foreign language. The idea of the present research came from three important issues. One is the teacher's lack of interest or disregard in developing the digital competence of students. Two, the teacher's reflection and identification of student needs as evidence in the class. Three, the unsatisfactory experiences of students while learning English with the traditional methods. This is the collecting data. My collecting data was worked on a principal survey taking into account their needs of students, and we have made some questions here. The intentions of the survey is to analyze and verify the impact of implement the use of technology in teaching English languages learning as an aid and pedagogical support in order to improve the processes in the languages and at the same time to rouse greater interest and motivation to learn a second language. This survey was applied to teachers and high school students of the Agustiniano School of Bucaramanga, Santander. Analyzing and interpreting the data. Kind of investigation. The present investigation is typified according to the following criteria. The research proposed is of a substantive type and descriptive level because the use of ICT and teaching will be described languages learning English of the student of the 6th and 7th grades in the Agustiniano School. By the method of studying the variables, it is a quantitative investigation since numerical data categorized in the variables will be obtained. For the time of application of the variables, it is a counting investigation transversal. To obtain the data, it is not necessary to study them along the time, but making a temporary cut at the time the measurement of variables. Data analyzing method. Data preparation, computerized preparation was used since that we have closed questions in the questionnaire. A statistical technique to use. According to our objective, we use statistical correlation techniques. Type of analysis. In our investigation, the view rate analysis was performed and quantitative. Data preparation. The data is present in distribution tables of frequency, graphs or histograms, and finally the data analysis and interpretation was and support by Pearson correlation coefficient was applied. So here we have some conclusions. It is convenient that the educational authorities of Agustiniano School from Bucaramanga takes into account the results of the investigation in the sense that it is necessary to use ICT, that means information technology and communications, in the teaching learning process of a language, since it is the best mix to carry out a quality and meaningful education. According to the results, new technologies can be used in the educational system in three different ways: as an object of learning, as means to learn, and as support for learning. But therefore, it suggests that there be pedagogical integration of technologies and it framed in a perspective of continuous training and personal and professional evolution as a now learn for both students and teachers. It is suggested to design programs or projects of integration of the technologies of information and communication (ICT) in the school, so which contemplates the personalized use of a computer portable by each student and thus start the classroom 21st century digital classroom with technological structures and connectivity based on the following intervention ACEs. Digital classroom ensure internet connectivity and interconnectivity within the classroom to all the teams. Promote teacher training both in aspect technological as in the methodological and social aspect of the integration of these resources in their daily teaching practice to generate and facilitate the access to educational digital materials, adjust to the curricular designs for both professors and for the students. Okay, so we have some, here we have the reference taken from the a different type of virtual tools, and here there are some photos taken at the Gosenian School applying the web tools as a pedagogical support in English class. Okay, so that's for all. Thanks for watching me and see you for next time.